What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 19 of the Hella Average Gamescast. As always, I'm your co-host Cam, and alongside me is Carmen. What's happening, man?
Man, just hanging in there on this Monday night, hitting up this early recording. Got my fill of video games over the weekend, man. I'm feeling good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Me and Jeremy have really whack schedules. We don't have the Monday through Friday, so sometimes it's tough for us to record later in the week. So that's why we record all different times of the week.
You sorry-ass bitches getting your Columbus Day off.
Yeah. I just kicked it at the house all day today.
I got paid early, and I was like, why the fuck did I get paid? And then they're like, oh, it's Columbus Day. And I was like, is that even a holiday anymore?
Federal holiday. That's about it.
Yeah, I didn't, Christopher Columbus was a dick, in case you didn't know. I don't even know why it's a holiday.
Shout out to my boy, Christopher Columbo.
Appreciate you, Chris.
Yeah, dog. Thanks for the day off.
Hey, if you're in school, he's a hero. Get your day off of school.
Yeah,
no, the school's still in.
Well, private schools closed, public schools go. And I was in private school when I was young like that, so I always got off for Columbus Day.
Don't you remember the rhyme? In 1842, Columbus got you a day off of school.
Yeah, very good, very good. If you can't tell, that's Jeremy. How's your week been going?
It's been busy as shit.
Yeah, I've heard it's been busy for you.
About to get busier too. Gonna be a fun holiday season.
Yeah, this is me and Jeremy are both in retail, so obviously this time of the year is the worst time of the year possible to be. So
yeah, I was gonna ask, can you guys even put fun and holiday season into your vocabulary at the same time?
Oh no,
working where you work.
Oh no.
I mean, luckily we're not in retail like a Target or a Walmart or something like that. That'd be terrible.
I honestly think you guys have it worse.
You think so? I don't think it's that bad.
I disagree. I'd rather work in the grocery business than in actual retail this time of year.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you, Jeremy.
You guys know best.
But we're here to talk about video games, guys. So why don't you tell me what you've been playing, Jeremy?
I finished up Final Fantasy IX. Almost done with Metroid on 3DS, and I've started playing Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let's climb through this. Final Fantasy IX. How was the ending?
Ending's great. Really holds up good. It didn't move up or down on my list of favorite Final Fantasies. It's still just sitting right there, nice and pretty at number 4. But overall, still love it. Great game. Definitely recommend playing it.
Now, you said this is one of your favorite playthroughs of it, though, right?
Oh yeah, this is way better than playing the original PlayStation version. It looks so much nicer. The boosters help speed things along. I put on the double speed or triple speed or whatever it was for a good part of the playthrough. It helped me just zoom through a bunch of grinding and shit. And especially because one of the main aspects of the game is your main character is a thief, and you can steal really good shit from bosses, but it just takes forever to steal some shit. Now that you got that booster on that speeds up gameplay, you can really just pop through those battles and just keep stealing for 15 minutes straight, and what would have taken you an hour before.
That's cool. So it just kind of streamlines the gameplay.
Exactly.
I like these remakes when they add in stuff like that. It's just like a quality of life thing. Make it quicker. Let's knock through this,
That's what I gotta give Square Enix props. They've been remaking a good bit of their classic Final Fantasy games, and they've been just adding these tiny little boosters and shit that don't break the game, but just enhance it. I mean, Final Fantasy 12 remake also had the speed booster thing, and that's great. Really helps with that monotonous grinding.
Yeah, because for people who've played it already, they can throw that on, and it helps them get through it. And it doesn't, for people who have never played it, it doesn't detract from the story at all, and it's optional. So,
oh yeah,
a really good way of doing things. So Metroid, yeah, I thought you'd be done with that thing by now.
I'm getting towards the very end. I'm on a boss right now who's just being a bitch. I've fought him about 5 times, and every time it's one of those battles where you die, then you come back, you make some more progress, and he pulls some new shit out of his ass, and you die. And you have to keep going back. I got to the very last form, if you want to call it, and I didn't know what the fuck to do. And then I finally figure out what to do, and he hits me with one thing, and it kills me because I had so little energy left. I was like, I'm not sitting through another fucking 15 minutes of this. I'm just gonna come back to it later.
You're a good man for not Googling it in our age of technology.
Oh no, man, you gotta work that shit out.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, sometimes I will play or Google something if I can't figure it out. I'm a scrub sometimes. I'll be expecting a review for Final Fantasy. I know it's an old game, but this remake I might want to hear about, and I'm sure our fans will too.
I'll definitely do a review for both Final Fantasy and Metroid.
So we talked last week about Amnesia, the free PlayStation Plus game. Go download it if you haven't downloaded it already. But you get 3 horror games in it, don't you?
Yep, 3 full games.
So are you just playing? Are you playing through like all of them a little bit, or are you just starting with one and going to town on it?
I'm playing. I've never played these before, so I'm doing them in order because I don't know if like the stories connect and all that. But I started playing the first one, The Dark Descent, and I think I played it for maybe a little over an hour. But man, it gets to you right off the bat. I mean, like you wake up in like a castle. You don't know who the hell you are. You don't know what you're doing there. You don't know anything really. You're just kind of exploring, and you slowly find like notes and shit that are left. There's like flashbacks. The game tells you right off the bat that you cannot fight back against anything that comes at you. So you just have to run and hide. And what's really ingenious is this game incorporates light and dark. You know, there's a lot of the game is dark. You have to light your way with torches and candles, or even carrying around a lantern, but you have a limited supply of oil for your lantern and limited supply of tinder boxes, which you can use to light torches. So you have to, be sporadic with it. But also at the same time, aside from a health meter, you have a sanity meter. And the longer you stay in the dark, the faster it deteriorates. And as it deteriorates, your vision goes blurry. It becomes hard to grab things. And if it goes down too far, it's game over.
Okay, that sounds like a classic horror genre type mechanic.
Yeah, it's very similar to Outlast and how it approaches the whole remember in Outlast how you had to hide in the dark, which you do here, but if you hide in the dark too long, you go fucking insane and die.
That's cool. I like that added mechanic to it. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So you're gonna play through all of them in order?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. I'm excited to hear more about that. I've got it downloaded, I believe. I set it to download and then kind of put my PlayStation in rest mode. So
it was a fairly large. Well, it was about I think 20 gigs, something like that.
That's not bad. And you've got a Metal Gear Solid sitting there too, don't you?
Yeah, but I gotta get through to all these other games first.
I hear you. So that's been the bulk of your gaming so far?
What little time I've had, yeah.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I've been pet sitting, so I haven't had a whole lot of time either. But I bet Carmen has. Carmen, what have you been playing?
Man, I dove in deep again this week. I've been working on my Resogun survival skills, trying to break that high score. I'm very disrespectful to the RNGs in that game. It treats me well, and then I just fuck it all up. And I got close. Got like a 280 mil run, close to my 370, so I was pretty stoked about that. I played Rocket League with our good buddy Will. Got into silver. I broke out of bronze. Holler at your boy. What's up?
There you go. It took you a little while, but you got it.
Road to gold. I told Will if I hit gold, I'm going to retire. Gran Turismo Sport. That fucking game is awesome. Good simulator. That free full game beta started today. And I've thoroughly enjoyed that, doing some of the challenges and stuff. So I'm enjoying that. And then, like always, I jumped into Destiny 2 for a good bit of my hours that I've logged this week. And then I've been playing Donkey Kong Country with my wife.
Nice. That's shaking it up a little bit.
I was hoping you'd get back on that SNES.
Yeah, we've played. We've been stuck. It's like the platformer is just killing us.
Really?
Yeah, it's tough. It's hard to get in. It's very unforgiving. And then, the game is predictable because once you go onto a screen, you kind of know what's going to happen if you backtrack and walk back because that's how they were designed. But still, it's making the jumps. Diddy Kong, that little cartwheel he does kind of throws you off sometimes when you're about to make a big move. Man, but overall, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I played Mega Man X some more, but I can just play 2 or 3 stages of Mega Man X and feel good about my day. Like, I don't have to beat the game.
Quality over quantity.
Yep, it's like the opening stage is one of the funnest parts of the game to me.
It's one of the best tutorials in gaming history, I think.
Yeah, it just throws you right in.
Teaches you everything you need to know without having to stop you every 3 seconds with a tutorial box.
Yep. You learn how to jump, you learn how to climb up walls, shoot, charge up, do all these things. And so I'm
really
about
excited to jump on that one. I never played it.
Yeah. The next thing I'm going to jump into is Earthbound.
Nice.
It's a game that I've never played, so I'm excited. I'm
Same
real
here.
stoked about that.
I'm excited. I'm really excited about Mario RPG. I never played it.
Oh man,
And,
that's a great
you know,
game.
Yeah, I've heard, and my love of RPGs, I kind of missed out on that one, so I'm really excited about that.
It's my only problem with that was it was too short, which is always a good complaint to have.
That is a great complaint to have.
Yeah, you'll be done with it. And like, man, that's it. I want more.
Yeah, but for the console that it was built on and the quality of that,
Oh, it was quality RPG.
that's
hands
good.
down. Yeah.
I mean, I'm staring at your guys' SNES classics. They're still in the bags.
Ah, you bastard.
Staring at them. They'll be at your house soon.
That's pure gold right there.
Yep.
It's funny because while you were just talking, Carmen, Michelle came out and showed me something on her phone, and it looks like somebody basically hacked a NES, NES Classic.
SNES or
And-
NES?
No, NES Classic.
Oh.
And it's on Facebook, and what it looks like is they put over, I think they said like 400 games on it. So they're like, here for Christmas, you can get this miniaturized NES with over 500 games for only $50.
Yeah,
And I
people
was
are going to
like,
do
God.
it. I mean,
They're selling
You
it.
know.
He's selling it less than retail though.
Yeah, but I mean, it could be something. It could have been that they got it for cheap or something. You never know. But it was
Yeah.
definitely, it's probably just a hacks box.
yeah, I mean, it's just, you could probably find the plastic hardware anywhere and then, throw a Raspberry Pi in it and have the same thing. But don't do that. That's not the right thing to do.
Illegal. That hurts gaming as a whole. Don't do it.
Exactly. But that's what people are doing. They're buying these Raspberry Pis and then they're loading them up with whatever they want. I mean, you could do that with almost any emulation.
Yeah, I know a few. I've seen people with the hacks box, and then I know people that have the broken Wii with all the games on it. And I mean, that's cool, whatever. But
Yeah, it just hurts the industry. It just hurts everything about it.
yeah, but stuff like the Wii. Yeah, at that point, just trying to get every game and play it because the Wii was a piece of shit.
Yep.
So what have you been playing, Cam?
I've been busy, so I've been kind of sticking to the norm. I got through the first world of Cuphead. I don't think I'd finished the world when we had last week's podcast, but I'm on World 2. The game is lovely, frustrating, and everything in between. It pisses me off, gets me happy, gets me hyped, gets me sad. It's amazing. If you're not playing it, I don't know why. If you have an Xbox, you need to have this game. It's fucking phenomenal. But I'm having a blast with that, and obviously Destiny. That's about all I'm doing. Played the reset this week. I'm starting a new character. Finished the raid. Me and Carmen started it, and then I ended up finishing it the next day because we didn't get past the end boss together because it got late. So yeah, that's it. I mean, nothing special. I'm still hooked on this Destiny loot shooter. Oh, it's the bane of my existence.
Yeah, and you're having shit drop, so it's got to be super frustrating.
Yeah, same thing happened in D1. I had terrible time with drops, and I beat the raid again this week and got the same piece I got last week, and I was frustrated. But when we talked last week, I was 297. I'm 302 now. 301 or 302.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And, the drops have been pretty good. I got 2 launchers. Even Will got a launcher from the dogs portion of the raid today. So I was stoked for Will. He was happy to get through the 3 parts and get to the boss. So, our clan is happy. The game is fucking good.
The game is good. It's well made, and my gripes, the longer I get about it, and when we finally get this review out, I'll go more in depth, but I just don't think it gives you enough of a reason to run some content in the game. Once you hit the end game, it's all about the raids and the milestones, and it don't
It's
really have
you
a
don't
reason
do
to
any of
everything.
the other little side quests that are out there because there's no points. This is going to give you an upgrade point, but what do you need it for when you still have 10 left over after you upped your skills and all this stuff? So I see these things, but I mean, the game's always been about the end.
Yeah, I just want them to keep the rest of the game relevant, and I think we've talked about it before. So they added all this content in, which is really good content, but you're running into the same problem at the end game. You're not worried about that content. You're worried about the content that's getting you more gear, and that's unfortunately not this. Not the explorations, not the adventures, not the public events. I mean, obviously you can get an exotic from it, but it's a small drop.
Yeah, it's more you want those raid chests because they have a 1 in 3 chance of an exotic.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, other than that, that's been it. That's going to be my normal grind. until probably Call of Duty. I'm probably gonna jump on Call of Duty and try it out this time.
Really? I thought you hated Call of Duty.
I do. I do hate Call of Duty. The last two I bought. God, what was it? Advanced War.
Yeah, you bought the last one last year, didn't you?
Yeah, and I prestige once, and I sold it back, and so that was like a total of maybe 2 weeks. But this one's going back to the roots of World War II, so we'll see. And I'm definitely getting it. I'm just hoping this might give me a reason to jump back into it.
It's going to be good. I think they're going to redeem themselves. So, I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to playing it myself. The last one I played was Black Ops 2, and I mean, that was a good game. I love Black Ops 2.
Yeah, I've said every time Call of Duty comes out, I'm done with it. Then I fuck with it, and we'll see.
Yeah, the interesting
I'm definitely buying it.
The interesting thing is going to see how fans respond to it, because magazines are always going to give it a 9 and 9.5 and all that shit. That doesn't mean anything. It's going to be what the actual people who play it have to say. Is it going to be actually good, or is it going to be more of the same shit?
They say that it broke the cycle this time with it not being the same shit, but I don't know how they could have totally, because they're still following that Call of Duty formula,
Yeah, quite frankly, I think it's just going to be the exact same gameplay, but just different setting.
That's what I'm hoping it's not, and if it is, I'm going to be so upset with myself and with the game in general.
I bet you it will be.
They just need to strip off all those, like, futuristic mechanics, and they don't need to put in any of these, like, wild, far-fetched things. It's like, go back to, like, your original Modern Warfares and, like your first Black Ops, and just really push that envelope.
Just press X and pay respects.
Yeah, and the wall running was really cool when Titanfall did it, but like every game after that started doing it. Like Call of Duty, just blew that wall running shit up, and once you blow those mechanics up, it's kind of like, okay, I've had enough of this. Let's take a step back. I want to shoot an M1 Grand in somebody's head,
Well, I think, like, Titanfall, a lot of the maps were built around that parkour shit. Where I think, as Call of Duty, they just threw it in there just to have it in there. Big difference.
Yeah, you could get up these walls and try to scale them one way or another. But, the best wall running was Prince of Persia. You can't deny that.
I agree.
I really enjoyed that game, too. It's funny you brought that up.
Well, it's because when you think about it, everybody relates this wall running parkour shit to
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed, and you get like a lot of response to Titanfall because Titanfall did it extremely well.
Yeah.
But like one of the first examples that like really sticks out in my mind is Prince of Persia. And
that's an underrated movie in my opinion too.
I actually enjoyed it myself too. Not great, but not terrible either. Which is about as good as a video game movie can get.
Yeah. I mean, it's if a video game movie doesn't flop, then I'm actually kind of happy for it. But we're talking about Call of Duty, and we can go ahead and segue into new releases off this. One of the big games coming out this week is Shadow of War, the new Lord of the Rings game. And I've been talking about this game, and I'm like, I'm going to buy this game day one, but I'm not buying it this week. I'm going to wait because I don't think I'll play it right now.
That's a smart move then.
And you got the holidays coming up. That game's going to go on sale.
I'm definitely getting it for Christmas myself. Because I want to play it, but again, I've got too much other shit to play. But man, it's getting such amazing reviews, and I love the first one so much.
You got your credit card ready for the microtransactions, Jeremy?
So what?
You got your credit card ready?
Oh, they can fuck off with that. Although I do have to give them credit for making that DLC free of that guy who died of cancer.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that, but I didn't read much into it.
Yeah, it was one of the lead developers. He died of cancer before the game came out, and they decided to make him a character in the game. And originally they were going to charge, I think, $3 for the DLC and then give all proceeds to charity. But then there was some tax bullshit that was going on, and they decided just to make it easier and just make it free completely.
That's awesome. That's a really cool story.
So he just randomly, when you activate him, he just randomly comes in and saves your ass from an orc. Like, cuts their head off and then walks off into the distance like a badass.
That's awesome. I love when they do stuff like that.
And apparently he looks just like the guy that died, so that's pretty fucking sweet.
Awesome. But yeah, this game, so the first one that came out, I know we've mentioned it, but it came out of nowhere. It blindsided people. Nobody knew this game was going to blow the doors off, and it actually started out as a Batman game. It was going to be the next Batman
The Arkham Knight
entry
game?
Yeah.
More or less?
Yeah. So if you've ever played it, you know its combat is the Arkham game combat. But they turned to this Lord of the Rings game, and it had this Nemesis system, which is one of the coolest systems I've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
And it's not been utilized except for in this game.
yeah. I'm surprised no other game out there tried to steal it.
I am too, and I don't know if Warner Brothers has it, copyrighted or whatever, but it doesn't matter. The system is awesome. What it is, if you kill an orc, that orc remembers. If that orc kills you, it remembers, and then you can move it up through the ranks.
I was gonna say, if you kill him, he ain't gonna remember shit.
Well, no, he does. I've killed him before, and they'll come back and they'll be like, "You killed me. I'm not gonna let that happen again."
What?
Yada, yada, yada.
How?
Yeah. I
No,
remember.
no, they kill you and then they remember you because they taunt you. They're like, "I killed you once before, I kill you again."
Maybe it is. Maybe I was confused. Yeah. But anyway, it's just a cool ass system. Man, if you say you killed them with fire the first time, they might be immune to fire or get enraged by fire the next time. Really cool system. And they move. You can make say you want Ratbag to become the chief, then you can kill off certain orcs and have him move up through the ranks. The system is awesome. It's what made this game basically.
My favorite orc was Douche.
Douche.
That was actually his name.
I don't remember seeing Douche.
There were so many randomly generated ones. You can look him up on YouTube. There was a random orc they named Douche. And some guy got him up to War Chief so that when you finally fought him at the end, he had a bunch of orcs standing around chanting, "Douche! Douche!"
That's awesome.
It's amazing.
This game's already getting 9.5s, 9s. It's going to be phenomenal. I'm so excited.
And this is going to be Game of the Year material right here.
Absolutely. And I'm probably not going to get it till, like you said, probably Christmas time. But that's a big, major release this week. Go pick it up. It's going to be a fantastic game. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be bigger than the first one they've said. So
I think
you're going
so.
to have a lot of time into it. But besides that, the other big release of note is Evil Within 2. Really excited. This is Bethesda's, I guess, foray into the horror genre.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the sequel. The Evil Within was really well received. It was a really good game. Jeremy, you loved it, didn't you?
I did. And you bought it too, didn't you?
Yeah, I've got it. I bought it for $5.
Did you ever
I've
play
still
it?
yet to play it. No, I haven't
okay.
played it yet.
Yeah, it's good. It's worth it.
But yeah, so this is going to be, if you're a fan of the horror genre, this is going to be a fantastic game. What's the mechanics in it, Jeremy?
It's very similar to Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6. It's got that third person behind the shoulder view. Yeah, but it plays more like Resident Evil 4. There's more of an emphasis on survival. Ammo is very scarce. You got to learn how to counter enemies. I love the environment you're in. Honestly, the only problem I really had with the original game was, one, I didn't like the letterbox presentation with the black bars at the top and bottom of the screen, which they did patch out later. And I didn't really like the twist in the story, which I don't want to go into for spoiler reasons, but I thought I just didn't really like the twist they did with this. I kind of just wish they hadn't done it. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I got you. I don't want you to spoil it either because I haven't seen it. So
yeah, I kind of saw it coming and it makes sense, but I just thought it was kind of a lame cop out.
Okay, so yeah, just grab them. These are two fantastic games, and we've had a little bit of a drought lately. So if you've been itching for something to play, and if you've got your fill of Destiny, you go ahead and get some of these games, and you'll be good to go. There's some other games come out, some smaller titles, so obviously, like always, if you want to see them, head on over to HellaAverageGaming.com. Under the news tab, we'll have all the info you need. And let's go ahead, guys, and run into some news. Now, we're recording early. It's early in the week, but we've got a little bit to talk about. We're kind of scraping the barrel here of stuff that we thought we needed to talk about, but we got a few topics. And we'll kick it off with one of the most beloved fighting games of all time. Mortal Kombat turns 25. 25 years of Mortal Kombat. What do you think about that?
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Wild. The first time I played Mortal Kombat was on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah, I unfortunately, the first time I played it was on the Super Nintendo. So it was the shitty version with
That's the edited version, right?
Yeah, with no blood.
Sweat came out, and all the fucking fatalities were just pussy ass. punch him. Oh, he falls over. You win. Oh,
I need to play that one. I've never played that version.
it sucks. It sucks.
You don't want to play it.
Wasn't
there a way though to turn on the blood mechanics?
Nope. No, the Genesis version had the blood, but you had to unlock it via code, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so that's what I'm thinking of. Then.
SNES, there was no blood whatsoever. They did, however, put the blood and gore back in the second game, and from then on, but yeah. First one, sucked ass.
Yeah, I mean, I owned it. I remember playing it as a kid. Now that I think about it, you're right. There was absolutely zero blood and no way to get it.
The only thing I thought that the SNES version did better was the music. I think sounded better. But I always preferred the SNES sound card over the Genesis sound card, personally.
I think the controls work better as well.
Do you own it on the SNES?
Me?
Yeah.
I've got 2.
Oh, shit. We might have to be playing that.
Yeah, but I don't have Mortal Kombat on there.
No, that's what I meant. Did you own Mortal Kombat on the
Oh,
SNES?
no. I play at a friend's house.
Oh, okay.
No.
I may still have my copy.
Hey, if you can, by all means.
That would be cool.
I
just would like to see how PG it is.
It's pretty
G, apparently.
It's pretty PG. Street Fighter was more violent.
That's wild. That's just crazy. It blows me away.
At least Street Fighter, you could electrocute people and light them on fire.
Shoot. So, who's your favorite Mortal Kombat character then, Jared?
You know me, I'm a Scorpion guy.
Oh, yes, the Scorpion Master Race.
Fucking tier S Scorpion.
Yeah, you cannot beat Get Over Here and followed up by an uppercut.
Yeah, Scorpion was one of the god tiers in the Mortal Kombat X, and he just had a juggle that once he caught you in it, you were just done for. It was hilarious.
You dart from screen side to side all that.
I do that all the time. You teleport your ass all over the ring, and then you fucking uppercut them, you juggle them in the air, you use the fucking spear and drag their ass back over, or just rinse and repeat. So fucking good.
Carmen, what about yours?
I got a few favorites. I got like a lot of memories, so it's like I love Liu Kang, Kung Lao, one of my absolute favorite characters.
Love Kung Lao.
So like those are probably my top 2 if I had to put them anywhere. And then I really like playing with Katana. I don't know why. She just like feels really good when you play with her. I love her combos.
Giggity.
Yeah, it's killer. She's a lot of fun. So that's my top 3. I can't narrow it down to just one because for a long time they pulled Liu Kang from the game, and I felt like, will you ever see Liu Kang again?
When did they pull him from the game?
He was out of a few of the games. I think it was some of he was in the first 3. I know that. And then he made a disappearance for a while. And then,
well, in the story, he was killed.
Yeah, exactly.
You could play as zombie Liu Kang in one of them, if I remember correctly.
But that bicycle kick is just really get you going. So like I don't want to narrow it down to just one because there's a lot of really good characters. What about you, Cam?
Mine is Goro. Before we started recording, I was thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, I like Goro just because it reminds me of myself.
Yeah, you're large, yellow, have 4 arms.
Yeah, like the only difference between me and him is I have 2 arms and he's got 4.
And plus, your voice not voiced by by Frank Welker.
I didn't know Frank Welker did his voice.
Yes, in the movie.
Oh, okay,
yeah. The guy who did Fred from Scooby Doo was Goro.
That is
Frank
crazy.
Welker. That's what it was. Frank Welker.
No, it's Frank. Yeah, you're right. Frank
Welker.
Yeah. Yeah. So like he's got to be my favorite just because he's a badass too. I played in Mortal Kombat X. He was my main. Him and the bow staff guy.
Oh God, what was his name? He was one of the new guys.
Bojack, right?
No. Began like a K, I think, didn't it?
God, I can't believe I forgot his name because I play with him so much.
You were fucking lethal with him.
Kung Jin, yeah. Kung Jin. He was my main. He's the one I played.
Yeah.
He's the one I did competitive stuff with. Not competitive, but I played online with.
Yeah.
And then Goro. So, like, if I couldn't beat you with my Kung Jin, I'd try with my Goro. And if I couldn't beat you with any of those, then I was fucked. But, yeah, I mean, Mortal Kombat is classic. It's, it's spawned the best video game movie, in my opinion. In our opinion.
Yeah, the least sucky.
Yeah, the least sucky. There's been shitty iterations of it. What's that one where you just played a Sub-Zero?
Oh my God, Mythologies.
Yeah.
Oh, that fun fact. That was when I first got my PlayStation. I got 2 games. One was Final Fantasy VII, and one was Mortal Kombat Mythologies. Oh,
Was it as bad as
it's
I remember it to be? 'Cause I remember it being pretty shitty.
It's fucking terrible. If I was lucky enough to beat the first stage, I never got past stage 2.
God almighty.
It sucked ass. Oh.
But even for the bad iterations, this game has gone down in infamy.
Oh yeah.
If there's a video game Hall of Fame, this game has to be in it.
Hell, it was one of the games that led to the ESRB ratings.
Yeah, because of all the blowback from the moms.
Yeah, the pissed off moms.
Which, I mean, the ESRB is a good system. You should actually, I know a little bit of history on that, but you should maybe think about that for Antiquity episode one day.
I would, but it's actually been covered so much.
It really had. I mean, it's, with that, then what else? GTA was part of that, wasn't it?
No, GTA was way after that.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, it was mostly Mortal Kombat and Night Trap.
Night Trap. I could have sworn it was something with it too. That a bigger game title.
Well, GTA didn't come out to the PlayStation, and the ESRB was made back on the SNES Super Nintendo.
So, but anyway, that would be something cool to tip. But you're right; it's been covered so much. But Mortal Kombat turned 25. It's 25 years old. So exciting to see this game, and they're going to hopefully be bringing out a lot more iterations of it on future consoles. Maybe we'll get another one this gen. Who knows?
Yeah. Do you guys have a favorite version?
My favorite's the last one. I honestly, Mortal Kombat X.
So other than nostalgia, like playing Mortal Kombat, was it 2?
Yeah, 2 was the best of the original trilogy, in my opinion.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat X. I mean, and like I said, I like the new stuff. So, I mean, yeah, I think I like Mortal Kombat X a lot. But if you factor in nostalgia, definitely Mortal Kombat 2.
I'm a firm believer in Mortal Kombat 3.
Really?
I like the characters that were in there.
Had a great roster.
Yeah, the roster was phenomenal. I used Cyrax a lot back then. So
Cyrax is a beast, though.
True.
Yeah. And, you got a good taste of everybody in that game. But, I mean, X is obviously phenomenal. The gameplay is just out of this world. Very
When
smooth.
they introduced the X-ray moves, was that the last?
That was Mortal Kombat 9.
Okay, so that X-ray mechanic is awesome. It just looks so sick. It's just cool as hell.
Yeah, I love it.
It always feels good to end a fucking nice, 38% combo and then end with that and bump you up to 54, 55%. Feel like a fucking animal.
Man, that's making me want to go back and play some Mortal Kombat.
Too bad you sold it.
I did. I got rid of it, man.
I still got mine.
Yeah, I could re-download it. I got it digital.
Usually when I get done with fighting games, I am done with fighting games.
So I always keep them just in case I get that itch.
Yeah, maybe I should start doing that. I should maybe learn my lesson, but I just always do it.
I only sell games if they just suck.
Huh.
It's a good game to just jump in and play a few rounds when you just have that itch.
Yeah. Got your friends over, you want to pop in a little Mortal Kombat, rip some spines out.
Nobody would play me because I was too damn good.
So good you had to sell it because you had no challengers worthy of your.
He was so good. He was at the top of the leaderboard.
Yes,
of his 6
top
friends.
number one out of the 10 friends I have.
10?
Yeah, that's stretching it. Don't be mean to me on the air, Carmen.
I'm not mean to you ever.
But besides that, Nintendo, we don't open the Nintendo corner this week, so cheers to them. Now, unless something happens between Monday, October, the 9th?
9th.
And then to whatever time the next time we record. But as of right now, there is no Nintendo corner. But they are ramping up production of the Switch. So it's going to be 2 million consoles a month being pumped out.
Man.
It's fucking wild.
You know?
I don't know about y'all, but I'm starting to see them a lot more.
I was going to say, I've been in, the last couple times I've been in both Target and Walmart, I always see at least 2 or 3 consoles.
Yeah, so you can definitely see that they're starting to focus more on it and pump out more consoles.
And I really want to give props to Nintendo for actually listening and pumping out more of these systems. But man, I think 2 million a month is just a little overkill. I mean,
they have to have somebody that's a lot smarter than us who did the math and was like, I think this is what you need to pump out.
I mean, I don't want to. I think it's too much, but at the same time, I don't know. It's just 2 million a month. That's a ton of consoles. Is that worldwide though?
I would assume so. Yeah, I don't think it's just for the U.S.
Okay, if it's worldwide, that's not as bad. For some reason, I was thinking that was just the U.S. I was like, Jesus, that's way too much. But no,
I wonder what's the Switch doing in the UK. I wonder.
Oh, I'm sure it's doing very well. It's doing well everywhere.
I figured that.
If it's $2 million a month, I could see it doing a lot better. But like I said, I honestly I don't think they're as scarce as a lot of people say they are. They're not super easy to find, but I think if you put in just a little bit of effort, you can probably go out there and find some. I mean, they're definitely not the NES or SNES classics where they're just impossible to get unless you're Carmen.
Well, like I told you, I heard the story of somebody last week, and they said that the Best Buy they went to on opening day, they had like a shipment of 300 at Best Buy.
I call bullshit on that, though.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's a fairly he's a podcaster, a pretty big podcaster. So I mean, it's take it for what it is. He could have fudged the numbers, but
they unless they accidentally got the entire stock for the Best Buy company.
Well, you got to think this was also probably one. I mean, this was their store in Manhattan, so this could be one of their biggest stores.
Oh, that makes more sense.
This wasn't some
think about the
podunk
population
store
there in comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's out in the middle of Blue Balls, Kentucky, or whatever.
Yeah, for real. Texarkana, Texas. But yeah, so that's awesome. Like, good on you, Nintendo, because there's a lot. This is going to probably end up being one of their most, their biggest consoles. But the way it's going, it's extremely successful already. I'm excited for it. They did it right this time. So yeah, like pump it out because obviously people want to buy it.
Yeah,
Nintendo might finally be getting
before?
it. Oh, I don't think the article said.
Because like if it was like they were doing like 750,000 a month, like they really could have just bumped it up to maybe like 1.2, 1.3 mil, and then really started pushing the production of these SNESs, which got to be costing them peanuts to make, and they can make a fuck ton of money.
But at the same time, they're probably bumping up to 2 million because the holiday's coming up.
Yeah.
If this were February, I'd be like, you guys are insane. That's way too many. But holidays coming up, you're gonna be selling this is the time to pump out those Switches.
Yeah, they're gonna ramp the production back down after the holiday.
They need to.
If not, they're gonna end up with a surplus, and then that's not gonna look good on their part.
So this says that I guess now this is off of an article on BGR.com. And it's the way it makes it sound is that they're forecasted originally they were going to do 2 million units during the Switch's first year of sales. And then apparently somebody in the company said that the people involved in the supply chain says they've been told to prepare for 18 million units. So if that's the case, it's almost double. So I don't know. There's no number other than that on this article. So if they were ramping, 10 million units and then they're ramping up to, more than that. So, what is that? Almost double?
I guess. I ain't no mathematician.
I don't do them damn maths. That's witchcraft. But it's awesome. Like I don't, if they can make money off of it, let them bring it on over. I want to see it everywhere. I want to see it in Bed Bath & Beyond.
Right beside those At Games versions of the Sega Genesis Classic.
Yes, those shitty ass At Games.
It's funny you bring those up because when I went to pick up my SNES Classic from Best Buy, there was a guy in line behind me and he was like, "Ooh, Sega." I was like, "Dude, total hot bag of ass. Don't buy it." He was like, "Really?" He's like, "But it has so many games." I'm like, "Listen to me."
It's got like 40.
Yeah. He's like, "And the price is much lower." I'm like, "Dude, hot bag of ass. Don't buy it." I don't know what he did after I got out of line. He might have went back. I don't know. I hope he didn't.
Trust me. We're podcasters. We know.
I would have said
Trust me. I'm hella average.
Nice. Yeah.
What would you have said, Jeremy?
So I would have warned them about the fucking sound issues on those things.
That's the biggest pet peeve you had with them.
Yeah. I would have said, go on to aisle 10, get you some tinfoil, and just crumple it in your ears. It sounds better than the fucking music on this thing.
This garbled piece of shit.
Yes. Fuck you.
I would like a Sega proper, Sega Classic console. That'd be really cool.
Oh, I would be.
A proper one.
If Sega, the actual Sega company, released their version of a Sega Classic, I would be down for that, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it pays for a company to pull on some nostalgia strings. I don't know why, why they wouldn't do it.
They could release it with just 40 games on there without all the extra bullshit. And, charge $60. It's well worth the price.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. So if you're listening, I don't know, I guess Sega can still make hardware.
They can, but you don't... they could make these if they wanted.
Yeah, I guess so.
They're not making a console. They're just making a little, emulator.
True. Yeah, I think they can still do that. So if you're listening, Sega, knock this out for me. I'll go ahead and buy one from you, okay? The only other thing we kind of came to on the news front is this new. It's not a new PSVR, but they're doing kind of an upgrade to the PSVR. They are slimming it down. They're moving the headphone jack, so the cord was apparently getting in people's way. So moving that, it's going to be a more streamlined version. But the biggest deal is that the original box didn't support HDR. So now there's a new processor that's going to allow HDR to run through it. So now, I mean, you get your HDR for your TVs, and a lot of people want that. All the X's and the Pros, they have HDR support, and I think PlayStation put HDR support for all their consoles when they started supporting it. So that was really cool. So HDR is definitely here to stay. So the fact that PSVR has stepped up their game with it, that's really cool. Same price. I think it's going to be rolling out this year. So
I have one question. Who cares? I mean, who still cares about VR?
There is still that group that is waiting. They won't. I guess a lot of people are just waiting for the games to. I mean, there are a couple of games on the PSVR that have been well received, but they're just waiting for a full game.
There's not been a single game on the PSVR that's only available on the PSVR that is an absolute must buy. From what I've seen, there's been a couple of games like Resident Evil 7 that are VR enhanced that are very good, but you can still play them without the expensive helmet.
I'm not immersed in the VR side of it, but I have heard from people who are on like various podcasts that there are certain games that you need to play if you have the VR.
Yeah, but they're not.
But you're right; they're not must buys. They're not.
There's always going to be games you need to play if you have X console or X thing. It's just a matter of, do you absolutely have to, like the Switch. It's like you have to buy the Switch because you need to play Breath of the Wild or you need to play Odyssey. There's a big difference between that and just like, oh, if you have the Switch, then yeah, you do need to play ARMS.
Absolutely. So I mean, to answer your question, Jeremy, people are going to buy it. I mean, there's just going to be that group that's just going to buy this, buy the new whatever Sony puts out, in all honesty.
I think it's going to end up the way of the PlayStation TV. You're going to find it for $99 at Target beside the at-game Sega Genesis console.
If this had been a year ago, I would have fought you on that, but I'm starting to come over to your side of thinking.
Yep. I'm wise.
It would be a different story if they would give us full game experiences in VR.
Like I said, it's too limiting. Everything has to be done from a first-person perspective. That really limits what you can do in video games.
It does. It really does. Plus, you're still wearing, and obviously the headsets aren't as bulky as, like, say, that old-ass Nintendo bulky-ass head contraption they had.
Oh, the Virtual Boy?
Yeah.
Of which I own.
Do you really? I didn't know you owned one.
I own it, and I own the only fucking 4 games worth having on it. The sad thing is, it has the best Wario game ever made on it.
That is... See, I learn something new every day because of you, Jeremy.
And it was an amazing Wario game. It just sucks it was on the fucking Virtual Boy.
Yeah, but so think about how bulky that thing was, and even now that they're streamlined, you're still wearing a bulky-ass piece of headgear. It's not like a pair of goggles or a pair of sunglasses you put on. I mean, you're still putting a headpiece on that probably weighs like 2 pounds or something. I really don't know what the specs are. But it's probably not comfortable. A lot of people are still getting like motion sickness from VR. So like it's got its problems to work out. Tracking is still not good. So I mean, there's problems with it. If it's fixed and they can fix these problems, I could see it being a viable form of gaming.
I don't see that happening. I really don't.
I mean, as it stands now, I think augmented reality is going to be the real hotness, the new, if you want to call it that.
Augmented reality has a much better chance at becoming the new thing than VR, in my opinion.
I agree now. I mean, and augmented reality is pretty cool if you can use it the way that people want to use it. Like if I can have Minecraft pulled up on my kitchen table, what I mean?
That is the key.
Just hope it works that way.
Except they're like driving it into the dirt. Like every time I get on my phone, there's like an AR section now.
Really?
And it's like AR. Like there's a game called Stacks, and it's literally like you just stack a block. It starts as a big square, and as you miss, pieces of it fall off. And now there's an AR version of that. There's like an AR version of like 1 million games right now on my app store. Yeah, like I'm gonna pull it up right now.
I didn't realize. I mean, I did realize people were trying to cash in on the Pokemon Go train.
Yeah,
And I'm not talking about just, taking something like I could pull up on my camera and doing an overlay. Like, I want like true augmented reality. Like,
what
what Microsoft
this is true
is.
AR.
But they're more like tech demos. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, like we get dominoes in AR. We get
like
the machines. We get zombie gunships, a runner, a game where you hatch eggs from chickens, like shit like that. Like there's a whole section. There's Mancala. There's that stat game. There's pool. It's like fucking just all played out.
Yeah, but we're talking about. I'm not denying that it's shit right now. But we're hoping at one point it gets to a time where we can like be like Tony Stark in the Iron Man movies. We're just moving shit around in midair, throwing stuff in garbage, creating Iron Man suits and whatnot.
That's the hope. Can you imagine where porn would go after
Oh, Lord. Never leave the house.
that?
It'll sit right on the shelf with your guys' fantasies of naked video game characters.
That would bring those fantasies to life.
Yeah, last week we got a topic that wanted to know what video game characters do we want to see naked. And Carmen doesn't want to play, but me and Jeremy are going to play. And we both picked Bayonetta.
That's the only answer, man. That's the only answer.
She is a Hottie McHotterson in gaming.
Woo! She really boils my potato.
I'm surprised you don't have like a man crush on like Ryu Cam.
No, I can't. So I do have a anime man crush, and that's Zoro.
I say you have 3 man crushes. That's Zoro, Deadpool, and Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
Of which two are the same person.
You're absolutely right. Like, I have an unhealthy obsession with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, when you actually like the Green Lantern movie, that's beyond obsession. That's stalking.
Speaking of, did y'all watch the new Justice League trailer?
Fuck yes, I did.
It looked pretty fucking good.
I'm excited.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited. This looks like an actual non-sulky, non-dark movie. It looks like it's just going to be good action.
We talked about it off screen plenty of times, but like DC is, generally darker than Marvel. Marvel's usually more cartoonish, the lighthearted stuff. But DC's, I think they're trying to get a little bit more. They need to be a little dark. They got to have some darkness in there.
They're definitely moving in the right direction, though.
Absolutely.
Ever since Wonder Woman came on the scene and showed they can actually make a really good movie that's not Batman.
Yeah, and I'm really excited because, if people who don't know, I am firmly on the Batfleck train. Like, I'm on the hype train, the conductor. I think that Ben Affleck is probably the best Batman there is.
I agree. I can't believe I actually agree, but yeah.
And, he gets a lot of flack because he was a good Batman in a mediocre Batman movie, So now, hopefully, he gets a little bit more time to shine.
I would love to see him in a standalone Batman movie, but the more I hear about that one that they were working on, the more shit it sounds.
Not to mention, I would love to get Ben Affleck's Batman in a video game. Or at least his skin in like the Arkham games. That'd be fucking sick.
Or I could see it like in Injustice or something. And they did that. They did that with Henry Cavill's Superman.
Oh, Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Ben Affleck Batman was in the Imposters game, that shooter that they dropped.
Back in the day?
Really?
Did they add him?
It's a joke, guys.
That's a terrible joke. Shut your mouth. That was terrible.
The big boys are talking.
If the big boys are talking about Ben Affleck as Batman.
That's right.
Fucking Robin.
Robin?
You guys were
we do need a good Robin movie.
You guys were like, really?
No, we need a good Nightwing movie.
Damn, that was a little tangent. We gotta get us like a Nerds Cast so we can talk about all the shit.
That's what I was telling you before.
All right, so let's rein this back in. The Justice League trailer was amazing, and we want to see Bayonetta naked. That's where we're at. I'm lost, guys.
Woo! Oh, you're doing a real good job of reining us back in.
I'm a terrible host. I need to fucking quit.
Got distracted by Bayonetta's tits.
Oh man.
Well, back to video games. I wrote a review on my Scuff controller.
That's right. Go to www.hellaveragegaming.com. Check out our reviews page. At the top of the list, will be a Scuff review. And read all the other ones while you're there.
Check them out.
The next few we'll have coming up, Jeremy's doing his for Final Fantasy 9 and Metroid, and then me and Carmen are probably going to double team the Destiny one. And I'm going to do a Cuphead one, so we're going to have a few more coming out. So be looking out for them, because we spend a lot of time on this stuff because we want to tell you what we think about them. And the biggest reason we do that is because we want to know what you think about what we think. Does that make sense, huh?
And we'll have some major announcements coming soon. It sounds like this Nerds Cast is going to be coming in 2018.
Yes, it does.
If I had to guess.
Absolutely.
Not that I know anything about the ins and outs of Hella Average Gaming, but I'm pretty sure that Nerds Cast is coming in 2018.
Jeremy.
Yes.
What's your favorite console of all time?
My favorite console of all time is the Super Nintendo. Hands down.
No shocker there.
I know. Hands down, double stampy, no takebacks. That's the console that defined my childhood, personally. I played that console probably more than any other console. Like 9 out of my 10 favorite games of all time are probably on the SNES. I just loved everything about it. The music, the graphics. Just, so many good memories. A lot of nostalgia involved in it. But man, I fucking love that console.
I like that console a lot. I can't, it's that console, like you said, defined a generation. In a lot of people's opinions, it's Nintendo's best console ever made.
That's my opinion. That's all that matters.
Yes, that is all that matters. But yeah, I knew that was coming, because I think you've only said that about 100 other times before.
Really? I have not been keeping count.
Carmen, what's your favorite?
My favorite's the PlayStation 2.
That's a damn good console.
And the reason is because it's like when, I played an NES. I played the SNES as a kid. But, it all just didn't make sense to me. I knew what I was doing. I knew you needed to get to the end of the stage in Mario. I knew that you needed to defeat this boss in Mega Man. But it's when it really started to click, PS1 I was getting a grasp on it, but PS2 is when I really took off. I've had Kingdom Hearts, I had Final Fantasy X, all things that really made you dig deep and think. And I had grown a strong love for Tony Hawk. The best version of that game lives on the PS2. I was just looking, in case I've lost my copy, I need to buy another copy. They're $40 still. I can't even believe it.
Wow.
The controller was wonderful. I thought that it felt great. Probably now it would feel like shit, but I think that it felt great back in the day. It was nice and light. There were just a lot of good games during that time. They put a lot of good stuff on that console.
And I'd like to point out, too, that while the SNES may be my favorite console of all time, I think the PS2 had the best library of games, hands down.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yes.
Oh, I can agree with that for sure. No doubt.
Yes.
Sony was fucking crushing it.
That lineup, you could not beat that library.
Oh my god, it was just phenomenal. First party and third party titles out the ass.
Yeah, and then you always had to argue with that one Xbox kid. They're like, well, we have Halo. I'm like, well, dude, we have fucking everything.
Yeah, you have one thing, we have many.
Where should I start? The fucking box is too big to even carry inside here.
Yeah, the fucking controller's bigger, almost bigger than the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
That is true. So what was yours, Cam? What's your favorite console?
I'm all about the new stuff. I want the newest, especially when it comes to gaming. So I'm gonna say my favorite console was the PlayStation 4.
Really? I thought it was gonna be the Apple Pippin.
Not the Pippin. No, it's
I really thought you were a Dreamcast guy, to be honest.
I did play the Dreamcast, and I owned a Dreamcast, and I really enjoyed it, to be honest with you. But it's just because I always like the new iterations of consoles. All the stuff we can do now, it's really, it's amazing that we can jump on and we can talk with our friends who can be right beside us or 1,000 miles away. And the new consoles always build upon the old, the old mechanics, the old style. But if you take that out of it, if I can't pick the newest and the best, then I would have to go with the Sega Genesis. Kind of like Jeremy, that's the game system that I had the most access to, that I played the most as a kid. And like Carmen, I didn't know what I was doing so much, but I knew I was playing games I enjoyed. We'd go to Blockbuster every weekend. I'd get a game or two, so I remember sitting there on the edge of the bed, just playing and playing. So yeah, that's my nostalgia. If I can't pick the newest of the new when it comes to Sony, then I'll have to go with the Sega.
Yeah, I think with the new factor though, like the party systems are one of the best parts, but like graphics wise, it's like I've known the graphics could have been better every time. Like if you looked at cutscenes from Final Fantasy, you knew that the PS1 had more power than what people were using it for. And that was always a way to look at it in my eyes. Like, do you see these cutscenes that are like absolutely gorgeous and the gameplay is super pixelated?
That's another good point too. Is like I think that's another reason why I love my SNES so much, because the jump in quality between the NES and the SNES was so drastic. It was mind-blowing to me.
Oh yeah, that is a big change.
Yes. I mean, I love my PS4. I think it's a fantastic system, but it's not that much different than the PS3 and the 360 in terms of graphics. You know, it's definitely better, but it's kind of just incrementally better.
I mean, I think the graphics on the SNES are fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, I think they compete with some modern day games.
Oh, if you notice, a lot of games now are trying to recreate the SNES graphics.
Yep.
You know, I mean,
Well, you know, it's like with anything, history repeats itself. So the old style is always going to come back in retro fashion.
I mean,
yeah, but it's not going to be able to come as heavy with the advances in, like, if you play Metal Gear Solid 5 or you play Gears of War, the latest Gears of War, like, those games are, like, the realism in them is phenomenal. And people are going to want more of that. It's just like with, like, a football game. They're like, you know, sometimes the superstar players look exactly like they do, but, like, the lesser-known players don't look as good. Imagine, like, when it's, like, when they scale it to actual, like, full humans, you know, like, how me and you look at each other every day.
And, you know, I think another problem is a lot of times, like, for instance, with the PlayStation 3, by the end of that life cycle, you had a game like The Last of Us, which looked just as good as some of the first games on the PlayStation 4. So what that says is the best stuff always comes at the end of the life cycle, because at that point developers have learned how to utilize it fully. You know, and at the beginning of these new life cycles of consoles, the developers don't know what to do with all this power or all this new tech they have, so they just kind of do the best they can. But by the time the end of the console generation is rolled around, they've got their feet wet, they've got the tools, they're squeezing every drop out of these consoles.
That's very true. Because anytime you always look at the launch games for consoles, and they're usually terrible because they're very samey and very safe to what was on the last gen consoles, because they don't know what to do yet. They're just trying to work with what they got. And then of course you have your growing pains where they try some experimental stuff that doesn't quite work, or at the time it's like amazing but ages like shit, like the original Star Fox. But then, like you said, you get towards that end and they know what they're doing, and they know how to squeeze every drop of power out of that system and create some truly mind-boggling great games.
Absolutely. So I'm really excited to see what happens at the end of this generation too. It's a treat for me. Like that's probably one of my favorite parts about gaming is to see the evolution in a life cycle of a generation. So there we have it. We got our favorite consoles of all time. This turned out to be a pretty good episode considering we had a bare minimum to talk about.
Hey, we can bullshit with the best of them, baby.
I think we can. I think we do pretty good. But before we go, make sure to check out Antiquity. We're going to learn about Pac-Man and the effects that it had on gaming. If you're hearing this now, it's up. It's ready to be listened to. So go check us out. Antiquity, a hella average history lesson. And without further ado, Carmen, why don't you let them know where to find us?
You can check us out on our own website, hellaaveragegaming.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Drop us a subscription on YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play. If you feel opt to it, support us on Patreon. Any amount will help. $1, $10, $10,000. Whatever you want to give us, we'd appreciate it. And like always, stay hella average.
Peace.
Good night.